this is the second of our introductions to the web design projects. I want to talk about some of the interesting stuff in here, and particularly about most of these things are from the Big White Duck BWD stacks, which are constantly being developed. They're really pushing the limits. They're what's being achieved them is amazing. So I'm just going to go through some of them. On the front page here we have the new Header Pro. Now this isn't a graphic that's been created. This is just text that's being drawn. So this uses two different fonts. It uses two different weights, and it's made up of different segments. And then it's being stretched. It's being stretched to that size, so it'll scale beautifully. This is used throughout all of the projects, and it's superb. It saves you having to waste time creating a graphic, and for a lot of people, you can create almost a logo for them out of their company name doing this, which will satisfy so many people. So again, it's a great time saver. The background here is an image. It's a freely available image from Unsplash, but I didn't want to be using images that were just stunning images, because I think so often you see a template or something like that it's the image which is making it look good. So I've blurred this out a bit, and I think it works quite well with a blurred out image. The image is not important in this at all, but you have to have an image, I think, of some sort. You have to have something, and this satisfies that, so I think it works quite well. We're using a section here. Again, it's another Big White Duck stack, phenomenal stack, really saves time, makes life easy. And I'm using this neat sort of cutout system here where you can see part of the image coming through this V shape. Well, this is also a button that'll take us down to the next page, and how cool is that? Now watch what happens at the top up here when I get to the next page. Suddenly the navigation appears. The navigation appears here, and it comes down here with the dots, so we can go up and down. We can click on any of these, and as we move down they become highlighted. Now I haven't created this navigation at all. The navigation system picks out these markers from inside these modules. So there's one called Services, which is this one. This just happens to have a name, a marker in there. Features. This just happens to have a marker called Features. And this stack pulls them all out and creates the navigation. You don't have to do anything. So, and similarly down here, it's the same thing. And you can see where you are. You can get a reminder of where you want to be and where you want to go. Brilliant. This is a complex 4-column layout. This layout will go from 4 columns to 4 stacked 2-column layouts, which saves a lot of space and just looks a lot better. But it's a complex layout, and it will take you hours and hours to figure out how to put it all together. This was quite a challenge. It works really well. One more of the Big White Duck stacks that you can see here. This is a paragraph. Now there's a bit of text here there's not enough room to put it in, so a great way to deal with it is to have a read more facility, and that's what exists in the new Paragraph Pro. So you can click on this, hide it, show it, or you can use an image. You can use whatever you like to trigger it. So these are all set up to trigger these things, and it works well, works great. If I move down through this Service 1 New, this is also Big White Duck Header Pro. In this case, I've made this font quite different, and I've made it a different color because I wanted to stand out. I want to show that this Service 1 is new and this Service 2 has been updated. So there's a change, and this is a typical thing you'd want to do on a website. However, Service 1, it's new today, but at some point in the future it's not going to be new. So the customer would want to change that. They might want to get rid of the new, otherwise it just becomes redundant and meaningless. So these are all editable with CMS, Easy CMS, Total CMS. And you could use a price. You could even have a price in here, which the customer can edit. So that's God, how cool is that? It's amazing. And we've got a CMS page further on in the demos that'll show you how to do all that, or change anything in here if you want, for example. And the CMS demo shows you how to do exactly that. Coming down here, we've got another similar layout, but there's a similar image, but it's using an overlay over it. And we'll show you how to do that. You'll see these contact buttons throughout it, and there's a whole lot of different ways of triggering different things. That button triggers one of these reveal light boxes. This is a foundation form that's been created in there. So all that's been done for you. Coming down here, I keep going on about it, but big white duck grammage columns, wow, these things are sophisticated. You can have backgrounds in there. These are equalized. This is a foundation feature. These are equalized so that each of these columns will always be the same size. Nothing looks worse than having two columns and they're just not the same size. So if you've got prices, for example, they all remain in a line. If you have a few of these and they're up and down, well, it doesn't look good. This is an example of sections, or one of the sections, and it uses a graduated linear color. So we've got a darker color coming down to a separate color here, and it looks quite neat. But going through all the different demos, you will see all of the different backgrounds are being used. Images, radial, gradients, all sorts of things. So you can pick one you like and choose it and use it. Here's another background gradient, and we're doing a series of videos later on showing you how to make those kind of graphics. And this is one more of the options of the footers. This one loses the overhanging graphic which goes over this section, but this one has some neat stuff. This is quite a difficult thing to do. So we've got an image floating on the right, hard up against the right, and often someone will want to put some kind of logo that says they belong to something or other, or you know, you have those kind of logos, an SSL certification or something. So that's hard right. And then there's a few links down here, which these can go wherever you like, but typically they could go off and pull up a light box which could hold your complaints policy or your cookie policy or whatever. So that's just an introduction to some of the things that are there, and there'll be a lot more in the future. Okay.